It is time to really discuss more important things. So I'm going to try my best to really reach in to a little bit of knowledge, but also bringing in what the Bible does also explain as well. So let's see. Where should I begin? Forgive me if I'm not saying this correctly. Archaeologists are definitely discovering man combined with ape. Now let's keep in mind true stories is written in the books of Genesis. Some of you guys out there already are familiar with the Genesis and what the books of the Bible really read. But there's something that archaeologists cannot figure out, and that's where humans really come from. And the reason for this is because no matter what they find, they're never going to be correct unless it's something is slipped in and put it out there for people to believe. That's the thing that's really going through. If you guys must know, this has something to do with the caveman and cavewoman, the Neanderthals that they're discovering. There is no such thing as the Neanderthals or caveman, cavewoman. Humans have always been born humans. Keep in mind, the devil has always found ways to see what he can do to try and cover up anything where people really truly come from. And I really truly believe that whenever somebody who's out there discovering fossils like dinosaurs and caveman and all this, there's a slight chance that some of these archaeologists would mix something in to make it seem like a big discovery, which is not true. As I read the Bible, looked up some information, it talked about that in the Great Flood, there were 8 people who were left behind who actually didn't go with the ones. Well, in this case, you guys know it more than me. If you know what I'm talking about, where I'm going with this. But it was 8 people who were left behind to start their own living. Were they cavemen and women? No, they were not. They were actually human. And archaeologists are discovering remains of people that seem deformed, which is unexplained in the Bible. But that does not mean the Bible doesn't speak truth when they say this. Adam and Eve were the first humans to ever been created in the hand of the Lord. So they're good proof. But the great flood that has taken place a long time ago, those who were left behind, they were still human as well. Now, let me make sure I'm explaining this correctly. With the cover-ups that's being done, I know Lucifer and the rest are doing what they can to make sure our true nature, where we came from, is never told. Where we were created. But the only thing you have to remember is Adam and Eve were the definitely good examples that we were all born human. And that's how it's always going to be. If some of you guys who have never heard of this, look at the books, that's the other Bible verse, I believe it is. If I'm saying that right, it will explain more of what happened in those times. It's the Great Flood, is all you need to remember. There's enough pages that will give you enough details what really happened a long time ago and who was left behind. And after you read about it, you'll find out our true nature, where we definitely came from. And it's not ape. We were not born monkeys. Let's be honest about that. That's why a lot of people are kind of taking that pretty serious and think, oh, we were born like this. No, we were not. What if God ends up proving to you that we were not? What then? He only knows where we truly came from. So keep in mind, I know the devil is going to try and play his little tricks with the mind and more. But you know what? Either way, no matter what. But it's an interesting fact because I never thought to talk about this. I wish I could have had something out there to really explain a little more, but with hardly any connection for me to do that, yeah. Normally it's always on the TV every time, anyways. But hope you guys enjoyed this. It's an interesting discussion, and I think everyone should start talking about it too. God bless.